to now we have studied about the asanas. We had a discussion at the last class about the importance of the sequence asanas, and we came to the sitting posture asanas, which are 4 asanas Swatmarama is saying: Siddhasana, Padmasana, and the Bhadrasana, and the Simhasana. So these are the 4 asanas for a purpose of Hatha Yoga. So in the brief, what is the idea of the Hatha Yoga? The prana is flowing throughout the body and it's coming from the Akasha or the space, entering into the human body and earthening through the toes. Okay, this is the general flow of the prana. But there is a channel called Sushumna or Solumne in the vertebral column, so which is a God's channel. So if this is awakened, the person or human can experience the higher consciousness. But mostly we are earth conscious people because of our pranic flow. So the Hatha Yoga is trying to connect the Hatha Nadis, Hatha Nadi in the sense Idakala and Pingala Nadis, to the Sulumna. By this connection, there is a circular flow of the prana will happen in the body. So because of this flow, the Kundalini Shakti in the body will awaken and the person will start to experience the higher consciousness, which is not earthly bound, it is a little higher than the normal consciousness. This is the aim of the Hatha Yoga, reconnecting the pranic flow with the Sulumna Nadi and experiencing the higher consciousness. Okay. So for this purpose, how we can achieve, there are many methods. One is the Hatha Yoga. By using the pranic flow in the body, how we can achieve. So the Hatha Yoga is starting with the body, asana. The first anga of the Hatha Yoga is asana. So in Patanjali, he say Yama, Niyama. And asana is this third anga, third stage. Okay. He requests first to align the Yama and Niyama. But in Hatha Yoga, Yama, Niyamas are not excluded. But he say you can start with asana. Okay, in this way. So when he say you can start with asana, then the sequence need to be understood according to the text. Okay. So what he say, the purpose of asana is to clean the body, remove the malas, the urine, the sweating, and the fecal matters what we are eating. So need to be removed from our body. Through that, we will get the sthira. Sthira in the sense steadiness in the body and also the lightness in the body. Okay. So if person want to practice the Hatha Yoga, his body need to be clean from all 3 malas and dhadus need to be sthira, firm, and the body need to be light. Light means he should not have excess fat and the amas or the unwanted tissues and this thing to obstruct the pranic flow. Okay. So how he can achieve? By doing the series of asanas. Then he suggests out of 84 asanas, he have taken 11 asanas for this purpose of purification and getting the steadiness and the lightness of the body. So that we saw it as a sequential from the Suhasanas to Savasana. So after purifying this, he have to sit in the sitting asana, right? Then the purpose is connecting the general flow, right? Connecting the foot near to the Mooladhara. If possible, directly connect to the Mooladhara. So that is the idea of the sitting asana. So in Siddhasana, what sadhaka do, our pranic flow is earthening in the toe and the heel. So the first asana, Siddhasana. So connect the heel to the Mooladhara and make sure you are connecting to the Mooladhara and you are sitting and creating the Urdhva flow in your Solomon. So that is the first asana. The second asana is Padmasana. Okay. Padmasana and Siddhasana. And third is the Bhadrasana, Gorakshasana. And the fourth is the Simhasana. So all these asanas, idea is to connect the foot to the Mooladhara. Okay. So the Suhasana is a very primary first asana. We are trying to put our feet near to the Mooladhara as we can, inside the thighs and the calf muscles. So slowly after purifying the body, we are connecting to the Siddhasana. So the most important asanas in the sitting posture, there are 4 asanas are given in the Hatha Yoga Pratipika. There is one more asana is Vajrasana, but Vajrasana is considered as a practice for the mudra or bandhas that we will discuss in the last chapter. But here, sitting posture, yogi need to be sitting one of these four positions: Siddhasana, or Padmasana, or Vajrasana, or Simhasana. The last class we discussed about the Siddhasana in detail. Today we are going to talk about the Padmasana. So the theory, what we are trying to do, so in the subtle system, in the Siddhasana, we try to push the Mooladhara and awaken the Kundalini and try to create the Urdhva flow. So that is really an aggressive method. In other text it called, so you are going and hitting the tail of the snake. As per the yogic literature, the Kundalini means there is a cobra, 3.5 coiled cobra sitting in the Mooladhara. So when this get activated, it's going upward. That's the descriptions given for the Kundalini. So in the Siddhasana, what we are doing, this heel part, we are going and hitting or pressurizing the Mooladhara. So that pressure with the Dirgha Swasa, it creates the Urdhva flow in the Siddhasana. At the meantime, we use the another heel to open up the place called Ganda. Ganda means, the structure, there's a Mooladhara, Swadhisthana, on top 4 fingers, below the Navi. That place have the connectivity of all 72,000 nadis according to the Siddha text. So, in Siddhasana, we give the pressure to the Mooladhara and putting the light pressure on the Ganda. Through that, we are trying to awaken the Kundalini. But in the asana, sitting asanas, they say that is the very highest asana. Siddhasana is the most respected asana by the Siddhas and the yogis. Here in Padmasana, what we are doing, we are crossing the legs. We are not going to hit the Mooladhara directly, but we are opening up the upper lock, Brahma Grandhi or the Ganda part. You understand? So previously we pressurize down and pushing the Kundalini to get up. Here what we are doing, we are opening up the upper channel. Then Kundalini will awaken or move according to its own nature. It's not very aggressively we are pushing the Kundalini in the Padmasana. So in this aspect, Padmasana is always recommended for the householders. Okay, Siddhasana, who decide their sadhana as a final aim. Okay, so they don't have any worldly things. For a male, it is about his genitals. What is the pranic flow generally? Because of this Grandhi, the male is getting the erection. So, if the male want to keep his health and the flow, blood flow to the genitals, he must practice the Padmasana. So this is the first level of the Padmasana. But what Hatha Yoga Pratipika say, Padmasana like this, the second picture. Okay. So you do the Padmasana, cross your hands and take the connection of the toes. Left and right, you have to catch through this way. So by this, you are connecting the nadis to your hands. The flow is happening and coming to this thing. So you are connecting the flow to the Visuddhi Chakra because of this posture. Okay, but it's very difficult to do. So you must have a very thin hands and the shoulders. Okay, so if you have a big one, you can't do this type of asana. But idea, you are creating the upper circuit upward by holding the toe. So the prana is coming and going to the Swadhisthana. So you make sure the Kundalini will travel up to the Visuddhi without any obstacle. Okay, so that's the idea of the Padmasana here. What he says about this Padmasana, placing legs like this and crossing the hand and holding the toe and keep the chin here. We know this is the Katragama Varmam or the Jalandhara Bandham. So keep this chin here and focus your nose, okay, through the eyes. This is one of the mudras of the practice he is recommending. It will destroy all the diseases, okay, as per the Hatha Yoga Pratipika. But he say this asana is very difficult to master, cannot be done by everyone. You have to be a little aware. Sometimes your pelvic region may not compatible to do the Padmasana. The Padmasana cannot be done by everyone. Maybe according to your genetic structure and the genetical things, you may be finding difficulty to do the Padmasana. So if you identified that, so you should not do. It's very difficult. But he say if person can master the Padmasana, that's a kind of a very easy to master the Kundalini Yoga. So what he say exactly in the Hatha Yoga Pradipika, so this is the general Padmasana, but what he says is a sort of a mudra type of a Padmasana. So sitting in the Padmasana posture and holding the toes by crossing over the hands and placing your chin into this point and focusing your eyes to the tip of the nose. Okay, so this type of a practice will destroy all the disease, what he said, and also ensure your awakening of the Kundalini, and the person will get the higher intelligence. His Metta Shakti and the intelligence will awakens because of the purification and the enlightenment. So this is the method to do the Padmasana according to Hatha Yoga Pradipika. So attain the Urdhva flow of the prana. Okay, this will make sure your Kundalini will arise in a few months, by practicing by this way. So otherwise you have to follow the general one. So we learn about the Padmasana. If we classify the practice of Padmasana, okay, first, you get the general posture. So why it is called as a Padmasana? When we sit in this posture, all the lotuses, okay, so all the adharas are getting aligned. Okay, so definitely the person have to do a Dirgha Swasa, deep breathing. Okay, so your spine will erect, and you will be in the perfect posture for the Kundalini awakening. In Padmasana, automatically it will regulate your breath into the Dirgha Swasa. If you sit for 10 minutes, you are ensuring you are getting the Dirgha Swasa. It's a Swasa in your subtle body, it's going up to the Mooladhara. Because of that, this is very well recommended. It will cure all the diseases. It will ensure the prana will go to the Mooladhara. Because of that, you are getting the full filling of the prana into your subtle body. Because Siddhasana, sometimes, you can come like this. Okay? But if you, in Padmasana, you cannot do. If you sit in Padmasana, definitely you will be installed. Otherwise, you will get the severe back pain. If you are not sitting properly, you can't do like that. Naturally, Padmasana will align your subtle breathing into your Mooladhara chakra. The first benefit is your subtle body will get full of prana, and because of that, you will get the cure of all your diseases in your physical body. When all the diseases are cured, it will make sure your Kundalini is awakening. It is facilitating for the Kundalini awakening and ensuring the path is clean. Okay. So Padmasana is also like a Siddhasana, but the practical problem, everybody can't practice. Okay. So first problem in your pelvic region, right? So if you have any bones and structure of the pelvic region, if you have anything, so you can't practice. The second, what he say, this mudras, like holding this like this. So you must have the very loose shoulders and very less muscles and the here into the down. Otherwise you can't practice this posture. It's very difficult. So these are the things about the Padmasana, and practicing as a mudra and bandhas we will talk in the third chapter. Okay, so in this posture you can practice the Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, Jalandhara Bandha, and also the Jiva Bandha. Jiva Bandha in the sense touching the tongue into the palate, upper palate. So all these are techniques when you are sitting, how to use the pranic flow. So that part will be discussed in the third Upadesa. So when you are into the practice of Kundalini.